Hello and welcome to my channel, and welcome to my thoughts on Once Upon a Time episodes 21 and 22, the two parts to the finale of season 1, An Apple Red as Blood and A Land Without Magic. But before I start, spoilers.
Time to be killing the dragon again.
I wanted to get this video made before starting on series 2 reactions. Unfortunately, I just didn't know where to start. This was two such enormous episodes that it just frazzled my mind. To be quite honest, I just don't know where to start. So, An Apple Red as Blood started with a nightmare sequence, which, as far as I know, is the first time we've had a real visualization of somebody's inner thoughts. And I found that very interesting, especially when you consider the manner in which these thoughts came. First of all, we see, as most dreams do, a scene of normality with Regina and her son sat down for dinner. Then we see the first of Regina's major fears manifest, and that is of Sheriff Swan discovering her part in Catherine's abduction and Mary Margaret's framing for murder. But this is a very small concern for Regina, because it soon manifests into the greater fear of the whole town coming to get her, the whole town remembering who she was and what she'd done. And I think it was very fitting that she turned around and saw Henry holding the rope that would later bind her to her tree and render her defenceless. And all the while she was tied to the tree and they were throwing their accusations at her, she was staring steadfastly at Henry at the front, which shows her greatest fear, even above Emma discovering and breaking the curse, that she would lose Henry, her son. I think this scene really proves how messed up Regina's head has become in the last few episodes, because all the way through this season we've seen Regina always one step ahead of Emma. No matter what Emma does, Regina always has a plan and always wins through in the end. And here we see her frazzled by, to be quite honest, inconsequential fears, which shows the human side of Regina, I suppose. Because Emma can't take her son away. Within our world, Emma has no rights to Henry. The fact that she even sticks around and sees him against her mother's wishes, against his mother's wishes, is dodgy in the extreme, let alone her abduction of him in the last episode, in episode 20. Emma is, at the stage we come into the beginning of this episode, is in no way near believing Henry's story of the Enchanted Forest, and therefore nowhere near breaking the curse. And just on the superficial level of Catherine's abduction and murder, Catherine's abduction and the framing for murder, Regina knows that Emma has no evidence whatsoever. The fact that she should have been arrested by now had Emma had any real evidence against Regina. So Regina is, at this stage, still one step ahead of Emma on all fronts, and yet she's cracking under the pressure. Let's get back to reality, as it were, back in Storybook and away from the nightmare. We meet Jefferson again, which is fantastic because we learn a little bit more about his powers of opening portals to other worlds. It seems that he can open portals to other times as well, with the right magic. I think that's going to be very interesting. I think that could prove to be a major plot device in Series 2. Who knows? We also find out why Regina has taken such duplicitous means to rid herself of Emma. Because she can't kill her. Now, it explains a lot from Season 1, a hell of a lot. But apparently, if she kills her, the curse is broken. A little fail-safe that Rumpelstiltskin wrote into the Dark Curse. Very interesting to know how much control Rumpelstiltskin has had right from the start. And now, of course, Regina has nothing that he wants. And his best and vested interests are in breaking the curse. So Regina is fighting many, many battles on all fronts. At the end of the episode, Emma admits defeat. Of course, Emma can't know what's going through Regina's mind. And Emma knows she's got no ground left to stand on, so she admits defeat. And they seem to come to an amicable agreement. But Regina just has to push it that one step further and gives her that poisoned apple in the form of an apple turnover, which Henry then eats. A high point of the episode, I think, because faced with Henry in a comatose state after eating an apple turnover, Emma's got no choice but to believe. Aside from the first and last scenes, some of my favourite scenes of this episode were Mary Margaret was having a go at Emma for abducting Henry, telling her what a stupid thing that she'd just done. And I liked that because it took less of a form of a friend giving advice to a friend, but more the form of a mother-daughter chat. And it seemed very, very warm and very familial. And I liked that. And now the finale. Episode 22, A Land Without Magic. And what a interesting episode this was. Because it was a complete turnaround. We see Regina, for once, putting all her, her selfishness aside in the wake of her son being ill and not being able to do anything about it because she's already used the last of her magic, and having to work with what is essentially her arch enemy for Henry's safety. And I like that side of Regina. We haven't seen her really put her own desires aside for anybody else. And she treats her friends like absolute turds. So it was good to see her being a mother, a proper mother, because we haven't actually seen that in this season. Yeah, I knew this would happen. I've left myself no room to do episode 22, A Land Without Magic. I am going to cover this episode in more detail in my season 1 recap, because obviously a lot of scenes from this episode relate back through the episodes. So I'll say this, right. Full of adventure, full of real emotion. First of all, we got Pinocchio turning back into wood, which I found really heartbreaking. Just the way they showed the wood starting to go up his arm and then across his face. That was really got to me. Really, really badly got to me. I don't know why. It got to me more than Henry's supposed death at the end, or towards the end, because somehow I knew that Henry couldn't die. I mean, I've been messed around with programs before, with characters dying and coming back and dying and coming back. Doctor Who's terrible for it. So I kind of, in the back of my mind, I was going, no, this isn't really happening. So I didn't invest any emotion in that. Although it was really beautiful to see Emma give that true mother's kiss at the end and have the curse broken. I'm pretty sure Regina's kiss would have worked, but did Regina not kiss Henry while he was in the hospital? I'm sorry, but something seems to be a little bit amiss there, because I'm pretty sure that Regina does love Henry, and I'm pretty sure it's pure. Maybe it's the blood thing again. Maybe it has to be Emma, because Emma is the saviour and it's written into the curse, according to Rumpelstiltskin. But we also got the dragon, Maleficent. I didn't know she could turn into a dragon. Wow, that was amazing. And the juxtaposition between the father, Prince Charming, in the Enchanted Forest, tackling the dragon in order to hide the true love potion, and then the daughter Emma in Storybrooke taking on the same dragon in order to retrieve the same potion. I thought that was a really good sort of double-edged twist. And then we had that big moment where the whole town woke up. Emma believes, as seen at the beginning. That was a brilliant scene as well, when Emma picked up the storybook and got all those memories. Fantastic. But then the whole town awoke, and we had David calling across the street to Mary Margaret and using her real name, Snow. I thought that was really, really lovely. I don't know why. Soppy, aren't I? But there was just something very beautiful about that moment. But then we had this new thing. This Rumpelstiltskin and Belle releasing that thing from the well. The well that has the power to bring things back that were once lost. Makes me wonder why Regina didn't use it to bring Peter back. No, not Peter. Daniel. Or Red used it to bring Peter back. So, yeah, I don't know. Right, I've run out of time. There will be a Season 1 recap in which I'll investigate more of the behind-the-scenes praises. And I'll also do a in-season, in-universe recap. But until then, thanks for watching and catch you later. Bye-bye.